This Highfield estate was run by a fellow by the name of Edward Kerr. His wife Elizabeth. They had 15 children. Word has it that he treated all his workers with an iron fist. Elizabeth didn't see much of him, I don't think. The daughter is buried hereabouts. Here's a view of Stanley and the nut out the window. This is the whole estate. The kitchen by looks. Interesting butter recipe. Possibly the woodshed. Storeroom. Beautiful hedge of lavender there. It's a low building. This building was used as a chapel and a schoolroom. Stables out yonder. They started building this in 1838. Above the chapel was the schoolroom. Who knows what stories were written in there. Looks like each student had a chalkboard. Beautiful stone buildings. Here being the stables. We'll go have a look inside. These stables were built in 1836 to 1837. The stables. They looked after the horses really well because they knew how important they were to the farm. Feed trough. This must have been the favourite horse, got a room of his own. Tack room. And here's green seed sorter. Used in the late 1800s, early 1900s around a lot of farms. The forge. With a blacksmith. Would have made horseshoes and whatever else. The chaff cutter. What else could it be? Hand powered. You deserve a beer after all that, I reckon. Sort of tools, scythes for cutting the grass. Originally built to house the farming, or some of the farming implements. This barn was later turned into a shearing shed. He's not on these boards here. To Mr. Edgar. I wonder if he was a convict. Any relation, Wayne? If only they knew these days. Pigs were kept on the property around 1830. Then by 1836 they had 90 odd pigs here. So they enlarged this and turned it into a slaughterhouse. This is where the agriculturalists on the property were housed. There's still a lot of flowers on the tree. On June the 24th, 1835, young Juliana was in a dog cart having a ball. Something must have scared the dog, took off under a fence. She later died from head injuries received. She was one of the Kerr's daughters, one of the 15. She was not quite 3 years old, 2 years, 11 months. Whoever the gardener is doing a mammoth effort. Even the little things like privacy we take for granted these days. This would have been the chook house, I imagine. Highfield estate. Stanley, Tasmania, off west coast. This building was a dormitory built in 1834 and used from 1836, where the 40 convicts who were assigned to the Van Diemen's Land Company to help establish this Highfield estate lived. And the number of convicts rose to 80 before convict transportation ceased in 1853. I believe the Van Diemen's Land Company ran cheap on all this pasture they opened up on Round Head. Not sure how many acres they had here. And this structure in the foreground, I'm not sure what that is. Looks like a doorway or something. There's two of them. I'm just to the, south of Burnie, I guess. I've just realised what they grow around these parts. It's a hell of a lot of potatoes. It's not that funny.